Hello, my friend. Welcome to Awakening Dharma Tales. Are you feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or weighed down by everything around you? If so, I invite you to stay with me, take a deep breath, and listen as I share some simple yet powerful tips to help you find peace and balance in the midst of life's chaos. In today's episode, Enlightened in Buddhism, 3 mind-blowing lessons you need today. We'll explore ways to bring more clarity, calm, and mindfulness into your day. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of the inspiring stories and wisdom we'll share next. What if I told you that, according to the Buddha, you were already enlightened the very moment you were born? Sounds impossible, right? Most of us struggle just to get through Monday mornings without a gallon of coffee, let alone claim we've achieved enlightenment. Yet this teaching completely flips how we think about spirituality. If we're already enlightened, why meditate at all? Why do we still feel stress, anger, or sadness? Does this mean all our spiritual seeking has been pointless? These are the exact questions people have wrestled with for centuries, questions that sparked deep debates among Buddhist scholars and teachers. The Buddha's answer is far more radical than you might expect. Instead of seeing enlightenment as a distant goal we must strive toward, he revealed that it's already here, fully present within us, like sunlight hidden behind clouds. This understanding is at the heart of one of Buddhism's most powerful teachings, Buddha nature, or Tathagata-garbha. Buddha nature isn't just a nice idea, it's a life-changing concept. Imagine if, beneath every insecurity, every mistake, every anxious thought, there was a core of pure awareness that could never be damaged. What would change if you started living from that place? In today's video, we'll dive deep into this teaching and uncover why it has inspired and challenged spiritual seekers for over 2,000 years. Imagine this. You're walking through a junkyard and stumble upon something wrapped in layers of tattered, filthy cloth. It looks worthless, but as you peel back the layers, you find a flawless jewel, radiant, untouched, and priceless. This is how the Buddha described your true nature. Beneath all the self-doubt, mistakes, and emotional baggage, there is something in you that has never been harmed. This is what Buddhism calls Buddha nature, not a future goal or a maybe someday possibility, but full enlightenment already present within you right now. Buddha nature has 3 remarkable qualities that can change the way you see yourself forever. First, it is completely pure. No amount of negative karma or bad habits can stain it. Think of it like the sun. Even when clouds cover the sky, its light hasn't dimmed for a second. Second, it is unchanging. While our moods rise and fall, while life throws us curveballs, this essence remains steady, like the deep ocean beneath stormy waves. Third, it is blissful by nature. At the core of your being is a natural peace and contentment, something no external achievement or failure can touch. The Nirvana Sutra takes this further, teaching that Buddha nature is your true self, hidden beneath layers of conditioning and revealed through practice. This means that suffering doesn't come from being broken or incomplete. It comes from a case of mistaken identity. We've forgotten who we really are. Think about it. What if the stress, fear, and self-criticism you carry aren't signs of a flawed self, but signs that you've been identifying with the dirt-covered cloth instead of the jewel? Imagine living every day knowing you already have everything you've been seeking. How would that change the way you approach meditation, relationships, or even your sense of purpose? When this teaching of Buddha nature began spreading, it didn't just inspire people, it shook the Buddhist world to its core. Imagine monks and scholars who had spent their entire lives meditating, memorizing sutras, and following strict discipline, suddenly being told, "You're already enlightened." It sparked passionate debates that shaped Buddhist traditions for over 2,000 years, and those differences are still alive today. In the Theravada tradition, teachers approached this idea with caution. They taught that enlightenment was like a seed. Everyone has it, but it needs careful cultivation through years of meditation, moral discipline, and wisdom. This made sense. If we're already perfect, why did the Buddha spend decades teaching step-by-step practices? The Mahayana schools, however, embraced Buddha nature fully, teaching that enlightenment isn't something to earn, it's your natural state, always present, waiting to be recognized. The Yogacara school used a beautiful metaphor. Buddha nature is like a lotus flower. The blossom is already perfect, but it unfolds one petal at a time as we practice. Then came Zen Buddhism, which made Buddha nature its heartbeat. Zen masters stripped away elaborate philosophy and pointed students directly toward their own mind. One famous story tells of a monk who asked his teacher how to see his Buddha nature. The teacher simply said, "Have you heard the sound of the mountain stream?" At that moment, in pure awareness, the monk awakened. Tibetan Buddhism blended these approaches, weaving together philosophy, visualization, and meditation into an intricate tapestry of practice, showing different paths to the same recognition. But not everyone was comfortable with this teaching. Some worried that telling people they were already enlightened might make them lazy or arrogant. Yet even with these debates, all schools agree on one truth. Recognizing your Buddha nature changes everything. It's like realizing you've been carrying treasure in your pocket while searching for wealth your whole life. There's a Zen metaphor I love. Imagine a mirror. One approach says, "The mirror is dirty, I need to polish it until it shines." The other says, "The mirror is already perfectly reflective, I just need to wipe away the dust." Both actions look the same, but the understanding behind them changes everything. This is the heart of spiritual practice. You're not sitting on a cushion every morning to become enlightened. You're simply learning to see the clarity that's already there. Think about how this shifts meditation. Most of us treat distractions like failures. Every wandering thought feels like proof we're doing it wrong. But what if distractions were not mistakes, but signposts? Each moment you notice you've drifted off is actually a moment of awareness, proof that clarity is already present. It's like the sky and clouds. The sky has never been disturbed by a single cloud. It simply holds them all. Your awareness is that sky, open, steady, and unchanging, even as thoughts and emotions drift through. Here's the paradox. The harder you chase enlightenment, the further it feels. But when you stop striving, even for a moment, it's right there, simple, clear, and ordinary. Enlightenment isn't some mystical state far away. It's the awareness noticing these words right now. And when you truly see this in yourself, you start seeing it in others. That driver who cut you off? Buddha nature. Your annoying coworker? Buddha nature. This doesn't mean becoming a doormat. It means responding from compassion instead of ego. It's a radical kind of freedom. You stop trying to prove your worth. Stop living for a future moment when you'll finally be enough. That moment is already here. The present is not a stepping stone to enlightenment. It's where enlightenment has always been. There's a saying in Buddhism, the teachings are like a finger pointing at the moon. The finger helps you see where to look, but it isn't the moon itself. In the same way, no amount of words, concepts, or even brilliant spiritual theories can capture what Buddha nature truly is. It has to be experienced directly, felt, not thought. Modern science is beginning to explore this mystery. Neuroscientists like Dr. Judson Brewer at Harvard have studied what they call pure awareness, a state of consciousness that remains even in deep meditation, during sleep, and sometimes even under anesthesia. They can map brainwaves, track neural activity, and describe what happens when the mind quiets down. But even the best imaging machines can't fully capture what it feels like to rest in that awareness. Buddha nature is beyond measurement because it's not something you look at, it's what you look from. And here's the beautiful truth. This awareness is closer than your breath, more intimate than your thoughts, and always present. It doesn't change when you're happy, sad, or stressed. It doesn't get brighter when you're spiritual, or dimmer when you make mistakes. It's simply here. The only reason it feels hidden is because we're constantly searching outside ourselves. Ironically, the moment you stop searching, even for a second, you realize it's been here all along, quietly holding everything. So, pause for a moment. Can you feel the awareness that's noticing these words right now? Not the thoughts about what I'm saying, but the presence behind those thoughts. Could that awareness itself be what you've been calling Buddha? What if enlightenment isn't something you achieve, but something you remember, a home you never actually left? The deeper you explore this, the less there is to say, because the truth isn't in the words, it's in the silence between them. And maybe that's the point. Buddha nature isn't waiting to be found. It's been patiently watching, as you, all along. So here's the real takeaway. This journey you're on isn't about becoming something new, it's about remembering what has always been here. Your Buddha nature was never lost. It didn't disappear when life got messy, when mistakes were made, or when fear took over. It's been patiently present through every joy, every struggle, every single breath. The spiritual path is not about chasing a finish line, but about waking up to the fact that the treasure you've been searching for has been in your hands the whole time. Take a moment after this video to simply pause. Feel that quiet awareness that's been with you, even as your mind raced, even as you listened. Could it be that this presence is the very thing you've been seeking?
I'd love to hear your thoughts. What is this teaching stir in you? How does it challenge the way you see yourself or your practice? Share your reflections in the comments. I read every one because these conversations matter. And if this exploration sparks something in you, consider subscribing with notifications on so we can keep diving into wisdom that helps us live with more clarity and freedom. Until next time, keep exploring not just who you are, but what you've always been.